Good evening and welcome to the Noahide Nexus. And we are live as we are every Thursday night, most every Thursday night, right here on Google Plus, checking out this week's Torah portion, a portion of the Torah that we read every week and we cycle through it every year. And we do it right here Thursday nights, Central American time at 8 o'clock. It'd be 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific, and 9 o'clock Eastern. I am James, and you can go to the Idol Smasher one-word YouTube page and check out more of these that we do here. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, feel free to join our Facebook page. That'll let you know when we're going to be here, give you links to the Hangout on Thursday nights and the topics we're going to be discussing, whatnot. You can also message the Idol Smasher YouTube page here on Google Plus or on YouTube, and we'll get you on the mailing list here. There's no group. There's a Noahide group. There's a good Noahide group, but there's no Noahide Nexus. So nobody's here as usual. They always come late, and all the good stuff happens after 11 o'clock when we're off the air. But nonetheless, we'll get to a few things here in a bit. This week's Parsha, the portion of the Torah in which we're studying, starts at Numbers 25:10, and this is a doozy. Goes to 30 verse 1. And there's a lot to this Parsha. We missed last week. I wanted to apologize, even though nobody's here to hear it. Apologize to folks. Last week we were going to have something good. I got a wee bit under the weather. I mean, I hit the bed as soon as I got home, and the wife woke me up and told me what time it was. I came in here and just canceled the thing. I couldn't do it. I'm kind of getting exhausted. The more I do this, there's a good chance after Numbers this will be done. I'll be done with the Thursday night thing. We'll see. We've gone through it enough, and nothing new's really happening. And by the time Thursday night at 8 o'clock rolls around, I am flipping exhausted. I am so exhausted about this time. Well, I'm not going to poskin. I'm not going to tell you what's going on. I don't know if you're familiar with what goes on here in the Noahide Nexus. We don't teach. We're not making rules. We're not creating a religion. We're not having a cult. It's just a discussion that we do and hope that other people would enjoy doing it here on Google Plus. Rare moments indeed. Most people have their mind made up and aren't really interested in elevation or evolving or refining oneself. It's just not. They just don't want to do it. And, I'm kind of like Noah, is it really worth my time? I mean, really, I don't need this hangout to study a Parsha. Nobody else is interested. Nobody comes in and talk. Christians are scared shitless. Christians are scared shitless and have shit tons of contempt. I want to say that word one more time. Shit tons of contempt for Noahides. They do not like us. They fear us like nothing else. Lots of contempt there. Of course, there's always going to be contempt with Christians and the Jewish people. That's just how it is. We do pretty well here in America, but deep down inside, we all know. We all know what's really going on. Muslims used to come in a bit. Frank, we see Frank here and there, and I think they get it, but they're not really interested in Torah study. They got their own thing. Jews and Noahides, I swear, there's so many classes going on. There's so much information being disseminated to the folks of the world who are not Jewish, who are interested in the Torah and devout to it. People who want to get closer to their creator and read this thing that cures dementia and insanity. We don't get much of that. So this could very well be getting down to the very wire of the last of these hangouts for now or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen soon, but I'm not going to sit here and talk into a mic. I have a lot of things I could talk about into a mic with absolutely no conversation going on whatsoever. And trust me, it would deviate from Torah so far. Because I am passionate about a thing or two besides the Torah, not before, but beside, on the back burner that I could go off on. But if nobody's going to show up, we'll just give a quick overview of what's going on in the Parsha this week, and that's it. I'm hoping to get a discussion on the party line. That's a real fun thing I'm having to deal with. For a long time, I was just a Noahide. See, I came out of Christianity like so many do in my teens. But I clung to my roots in martial arts, particularly Northern Shaolin Kung Fu, and basic Shaolin trainings and teachings, Four Noble Truths, and the Tao Te Ching. And during this walk in the East, some of my pagan friends, believe it or not, it took the pagans to turn me on to a book or to a subject I'd heard of called Kabbalah. Ooh. And, you know, it's like if you look at it visually, I did walk east, but I did stop by Jerusalem one day and picked up a book. And I read it. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's not real. I know there's a lot of hokey jive, not jazz. There's a lot of hokey jive going on about Kabbalah that's just nonsense. Even the stuff that I thought was great apparently isn't worth it either. I don't know what to think about that. I'm not here to spread it, but it did move me. And I kept that Noahide label for quite some time after that. It just took 6 years for it to begin to sink in because I had no clue what I was doing. And even when it began to sink in, that just kept my head above water. There was absolutely nothing spiritually evolving. I'd pretty much reached the pinnacle when I read some of Chogyam Trungpa's books, particularly Shambhala, The Sacred Path of the Warrior, which screamed at me to get back to Torah. Really, it's pretty good. It's really good stuff. So, you know, my past is dubious in this stuff, and sure, I've been seriously studying the Torah for about 7-8 years now. Seriously studying it. And getting closer to Israel and understanding what they're about and what this whole thing's about. And I'm to the point now where I guess I've done as much of this live hangout stuff as I can. Google Plus is kind of empty anymore. Nobody's really around. And, I've got other things I have to do, but we'll give it a couple more minutes here, and then I'm gone, y'all. But, you know, keep tuning in. We might have something later next week. I don't know. We'll see. Highly recommend, if I had to give a book list, since this is one of the last ones or maybe the last one I'm doing, a book list. If you're interested in Judaism, you're not a Jew, and you don't know what to do because, you know, Jews are complicated people. And as glorious and flawed as anybody, and sometimes you'll hear conflicting arguments, and they're both right, and they seem conflicting. That'll drive you nuts. Other stuff, misunderstanding of what the Talmud is and what the Torah is to begin with, and a whole lot of disinformation going on out there from the church and a few others. There are even some Jews out there who are just dying to drown other rabbis, you know. I don't get it. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I don't know that. No one said that to me. I can't wait to kill him. But from what I've heard, y'all are nuts out there sometimes. But I can recommend at least 3-4 books of study that are worth every penny. You need a Chumash. You need 5 books of Moses. You need a Torah. Chumash is what it's called. A stone edition Chumash is probably one of the more recent, more of a modern look. It's a study Bible. You're going to get the Hebrew, then you get the English, and then you get some commentary to kind of help explain and put things into perspective as to what you just read in English and translated from Hebrew. You need a Chumash, Stone edition, Hertz edition, Hirsch edition. A Chumash is out there. If you can't get a new one, they do have used ones worthy of buying. Like I said, right now, my thing, I started with a Hertz edition. Right now, I've got a JPS Tanakh, not the same thing. You need a Chumash. You need a study Bible. If you don't listen to the commentaries, if you don't listen to the oral Torah, the living conversation that started before Sinai even, then it's not worth your, just reading a dry Bible with no conversation from the sages is kind of folly, if you ask me. Stone edition, I'll just say that's the new and that's the modern one that's kind of hip right now. It's good to buy a Tanakh. If you want to buy a Hebrew Bible with all the prophets and whatnot, that's great. That's good. Not needed. I want to recommend the Stone edition Chumash. I am going to recommend 2 books that people would think would conflict with each other. Obviously, there is conflict in the community. which I guess is necessary and quite stupid at the same time. One is the divine code. You need to learn the 7 laws of Noah. The best way to do it is to learn it the way the Jews learn the law. And a Shulchan Aruch, a book of law for the Noahides, or something that's close. We've got half of it translated. It's called The Divine Code. It's by Rabbi Moshe Weiner, edited by Dr. Michael Schulman, and you can get it at Ask Noah. It's a great breaking down. If you don't, it's because you need to understand what it is you're about. You've got these 7 laws. What are they? Why do you do this? What do you do when you find stolen money? What's the difference between accidental killing and manslaughter? What's the difference between manslaughter and murder? How do you differentiate the two? What's accidental killing? You need to break it down. Divine code. You'll need a prayer book, a Siddur. I know that the Divine Code Ask Noah people have one. I have something called Service of the Heart. It's from the OKBNS, the Oklahoma B'nai Noach Society Press. You can get one right now online. Service from the Heart, okbns.org is a great place to go. And once you get that covered, the world of the Ger. And the only reason why I'm saying this last and why I would say the others first is not because I want to restrict you from Torah knowledge or anything like that. What I am trying to help avoid for people who are getting into this is you're going to have a lot of people out there who are charlatans, who are toothless and ruthless. You're going to have people out there who are going to try to tell you have to have your papers on you at all times, like you live in 1940s frickin' Germany. Do you have your papers? Well, then you're not a real Noahide. Run from people like that. Run like the wind from people like that. You don't need a bonification certified certificate to be a good person, to keep the 7 laws of Noah and to study his word. World of the Ger, Chaim Chlorphine, David Katz, World of the Ger, Amazon right now, gergear.com, Chlorphine and Katz, both rabbis, both wrote a fantastic book. Rabbi Schwartz also gives a nice recommendation in there too. Rabbi Schwartz is also into making the Service from the Heart at the OKBNS website. Great books for study. That's the starter kit I would recommend for everybody. Anybody, any human, even if you're Jewish, I would recommend those books because you kind of need a stable base to start from, and that's where you go. I mean, I know people who will pick up the Talmud and go ape with it, and not even read into the Torah, not even read the actual English story, the linear story. It's not exactly linear. The Torah is not in chronological order, but it's, they would rather go to commentary, and they would rather go to oral Torah based on something they've never read, or that stems from or relates directly to something they don't read or have never read. Silly. Just get you a Chumash, get you the 5 books of Moses, know what's going on. Divine Code. Know the 7 laws of Noah. There's some other great books on the 7 laws of Noah, but that is by far the best. World of the Ger, what does it mean to be a Noahide? If you accept the 7 laws of Noah, things are going to change for you. Some things are going to get a lot easier, and some things aren't. There's an old saying, it's a lot easier to pull the Israelite out of Egypt than Egypt out of the Israelite. Again, the Divine Code, the World of the Ger, and a Siddur. Like I say, Ask Noah has one for non-Jews. Service from the Heart is a wonderful book as well. These are the books you should try out. All right. That's it for me. It's difficult to have a roundtable study discussion with one person, and I am not here to be a rabbi. Always consult your local rabbi, your local Torah observant rabbi. The more orthodox it gets, the bigger the beard, the longer the payas, go as Jewy as you can possibly find. Don't listen to me. All right. Shalom all. Be well.